Hi there, this is your friend Anna, and the question that I've been getting the most from all of my friends is what are we wearing? This age-old question isn't just about choosing an outfit, it's about choosing how we present ourselves to the world. I created the I Want Her Shoes podcast to dive deep into what it means to dress with intention, whether you're heading to a council meeting or just having a casual day out with your family. Join the conversation as we explore the power of personal style and the decisions that shape our public personas. Put on your favorite pair of shoes and step into my closet. Welcome back to the I Want Her Shoes podcast, where today I, your host, am thrilled to dive into the vibrant world of digital marketing with Courtney Spritzer, the co-founder and visionary behind Socialfly and Entreprenista Media. Courtney stands at the forefront of innovation and strategy, shaping how brands connect in the digital age, which is super important. From pioneering Socialfly, your essential guides on social media strategy, and spearheading initiative that empower female entrepreneurs with Entreprenista, your journey is nothing short of inspiring. Courtney, join us in my closet as we welcome and uncover how Courtney's flair of style and sharp business acumen are driving change and inspiring a new generation of digital leaders.
Well, thank you for having me in this gorgeous closet. I'm going to try to stay focused because I really want to try on all these shoes. Well, and I think they're the same size.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Well, then I'm going to try on your shoes.
Okay, too, yeah.
We can, share and swap. And Courtney, well, I would love to get to know you better. And I would love for our audience to get to know you better. Can you please tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, your family? How did you end up in Miami in the first place?
All right, all really good questions. So I am originally from New York. I was born and raised in a town called Riverdale, which if you don't know it, it's in the Bronx. And I went to NYU, and while I was at NYU, I studied economics. And also while I was at NYU, Facebook was only available to college students. So I was a student at the time that social media was really emerging. But at the time, I didn't know it could be a career. And I thought that I wanted a career in finance. Then I graduated in 2009. That was a really tough year because...
finance.
Yeah, exactly. So it was hard to get a job, but I had an internship at the time in marketing, and then eventually ended up getting a job at a publicly traded company in Massachusetts. So I left New York really for the first time, and I was there for almost 2 years before I took a position at American Express. And it was while I was in American Express, I was working in corporate finance, but they were doing all of this really innovative stuff with social media, Facebook, Twitter at the time, Foursquare at the time.
Oh, I remember Foursquare.
Yeah,
I
love Foursquare.
I know. That was a little creepy, but it was very cool.
I was like the mayor of all the places.
Me too, girl.
I loved it. So I was at Amex in corporate finance. They were being really innovative with what they were doing with social, and that's when I realized I wanted a career in social media. And around that time, I met my now business partner, Stephanie. We actually coincidentally met in Miami while we were both on vacation in 2010. Became fast friends, stayed connected through social media, actually. And then I shared with her in 2011 that I wanted to get into social media. She had also wanted to start an agency. So she kind of pitched me on the idea of starting an agency together and like learning on the side of our jobs. So really it started as a side hustle. And the goal was for both of us to have a career that we loved and be helping brands with social media. And when we started, we were really helping small businesses. But then after about 10 months of Socialfly being a side hustle, we decided in May of 2012 that we were going to quit our jobs on the same day.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. And one thing led to another. And I remember that first week in business after we both left corporate America, we were like, oh my gosh, what do? We went to Stephanie's apartment and we're like, okay, what's the first thing that we do? We need help. Let's get interns. So we put an ad on Craigslist, and by Wednesday we had 6 interns signed up to work with us for the summer.
Amazing.
And then the next challenge we had was, where is everyone going to come work? This was before remote working was really a thing, and we really wanted to be meeting people in person. So I remember, and this is the power of networking. I remember when I was 16, my mom, who's also an entrepreneur, she brought me to one of her business meetings in New York City, and she took me to a printing company. And I remember this meeting because the guy who owned the printing company had a poker table in his office. And I remember at 16, cool. I was learning how to play Texas Hold'em, and I was like, oh, I know how to play. So we played a little bit, and I always remembered that experience. So when we needed office space, I was like, you think about, okay, who do you know? And he immediately popped into my mind. So I called my mom. I was like, hey, do you still talk to him? His name's Frank. And she calls him. He's like, yeah, he has some space for you. Come see it.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So, yeah. So we went to go see it. And it was, it's an industrial printing company. It's not a glamorous space. But
it's startup even.
Yeah, exactly. But he was like, help me with my social media. You can have this space. And then he asked the next question. How are you girls, he called us, going to get your clients? And we were like, well, we're just going to go to networking events. And he's like, well, come with me to my networking group. So we went to his networking group like days later, and we ended up joining, and that's where all of our first clients came from. So the moral of the story is just start. Even if you don't have a plan, one thing led to another, and we always love to tell that story of our first week in business because we started off finding interns, then we got office space, and that led to joining the networking event. And then flash forward 13 years later, we sold the agency last year. We ended up working. Thank you. We ended up working with the biggest brands in the world, and that's really a testament to being early, practicing what we preach, and doing a lot of what we tell our clients to do for ourselves. And then we also got into podcasting in 2018, which is how we started the community. So through the podcast, the Entreprenista podcast, we ended up organically building a community of women entrepreneurs. And then in 2021, we formally launched it as a media company and private membership community. And I love that.
That's a great story.
And yes, Stephanie is running the media company and community, and I'm going to be focused on that as well. And what else? Oh, and then I moved to Miami. That was the other question. I moved to Miami because New York City was shut down. So I moved here in 2020. We decided to take the company remote. Actually, can't we say we decided? We had to. We had to. Yeah. We had no choice. So I was like, okay, let me try something new. And that's how I ended up in Miami.
No, that's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing. And now I'm going to ask you a little bit about your personal style because you always look so fabulous everywhere I see you. And how has your personal style influenced the branding strategies that you've been working on,
Yeah, so our brands, both of the brands that we started have always been very colorful.
Which I
we
love
also started them, actually, we started them in New York, which is known for like all black.
I know, that's very bold of you ladies.
Exactly. But, when it came to like brand photography and taking pictures on behalf of the brand, we really embraced color. So that has always been part of the brand. And now I would say the Entreprenista brand is definitely like really leaning into pink. But I will say on my personal style, I still really struggle because I'm back and forth between New York and Miami. So half my closet is black for New York, and then the other half is super colorful. And I will say that whenever I wear black in Miami, I just feel so out of place. It's like, in Miami, you have to wear color.
You're
you
like
have to wear color.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to. It's just, no, I feel like you could see the New Yorkers in Miami too.
Yeah.
The ones. Yeah, I actually don't. I have like a tiny little bit of dark stuff left there.
A little bit, but it's mostly color.
Yes, because I just always, honestly, in San Francisco, I had less color, but I always I would even do white, like, during winter. I would just wear, like, all white, and people were like, what, like, this is, like, not normal, but whatever, it starts conversations. Like, it's all about being out of the box,
Exactly. So if you're trying to stand out with your personal style, wear color.
Yes, and for sure, it's good for you. And let's talk a little bit about your extensive experience about digital marketing and social media. How have you seen it evolve, especially concerning like women-led brands and maybe a little bit also AI? Because I feel like now everything has changed pretty much.
Oh my gosh. So what I love about digital marketing is how fast it changes. It definitely keeps you on your toes because it's constantly evolving. When we started the company 13 years ago, really the main platforms at the time were Facebook, Twitter, called Twitter, and then it was Google Plus. I still call it Twitter. I can't call it X, but Twitter. And then even Foursquare, and Instagram was just emerging, and then now, flash forward 13 years later, you have, your organic social teams, your paid social teams, you have your digital teams, you have your influencer marketing teams, you have your affiliate teams. Yeah. So it really takes a very specialized group of people to do digital really, really well. And now you have thrown AI into the mix. So it has really flipped the industry kind of upside down because now everyone's trying to figure out, okay, how do you leverage AI to make everything better, faster, more efficient? So I feel like we're at a really interesting time in the industry because everyone's, again, kind of learning together.
Yeah, no, I think we're learning together, and it's basically, eliminating positions as well because you don't need as big of a team now. Like, you don't need an R&D team. You don't need as many content people, right? Like, so I feel like it's more efficient for especially smaller businesses just to be more profitable, have better margins and such, right? So,
and what social media has done and what AI is doing is it's equaled the playing field. So the benefit to being a small business is that you can move faster and you can gain market share and if you desire to sell, like you really have a big opportunity to grow a business quickly, whereas these larger companies, they can be really slow to adopt these things.
Yeah, and they're not allowed to sometimes because of all these privacy regulations and all of that. 100%. It takes like years, and by that time you've already grown to like a certain amount of users and can actually compete in the market, which is cool, right? So, well, let's talk a little bit about, I know you have a little bit of fashion kind of in your background as well, some of the projects that you worked on. Let's talk a little bit about Workrobe and how, why did you get inspired to start that?
So fashion has always been a passion of mine. Actually, fun fact, on my dad's side of the family business was fashion boutiques in the Bronx.
Oh, that's cool.
So as a little girl, I grew up running through the aisles, hiding in the clothing racks. And then when I was 6, my mom enrolled me in modeling. So I would do I was a little girl model.
Oh, that's so cute.
And then just growing up in New York, you're always surrounded by cool
so much
fashion. Yeah. Exactly.
Did you ever walk in on Sex and the City sets?
I did.
I mean, that's what I imagine would be like.
Yeah, always. Actually, it's happened a handful of times.
That's so cool.
No, it's super fun having that happen in New York. And then Workrobe really came to be actually when I moved to Miami. So it was early COVID. This was June 2020. And I was in between Zoom meetings and taking advantage of having a balcony with the sun being out because I never had that in New York. So I was in a bathing suit, but then I was like, oh shoot, I have to get to a professional meeting. And the only thing I wanted to put on in that moment was a robe, but I didn't have a professional looking robe. So that's how the idea for Workrobe was born, and I became obsessed with it. To the point where I was able to get a product launched within a year.
That's awesome.
Of actually coming up with the idea.
Cool.
Cheers. Yeah, the first thing I did was get the trademark because right that day I was like, Workrobe, that's a cool name. Let me get the trademark for that. And then one thing again led to another, and I went down this path of how to get this product made, which made me realize that I do not love product development and have
It's a lot of work.
Exactly. I have a lot of respect for people in product development, especially if you're manufacturing overseas. It takes lots of communication, patience, because it's not like you can just, like, I'm from the digital world where you make
just
something
be
and
like,
it's
hey,
there.
Yeah.
It's there, but with products, you have to wait for them to ship to you, and there's a whole back and forth.
There could be like things that are missed, or there's like quality issues.
Exactly. But it was a great learning lesson, and you can still buy them on myworkrobe.com, but it's not something I've focused on at all in the last few years. I'm kind of just selling what I have left. But basically, it's a robe that is professional on top, so you can wear it on your Zoom meetings.
Or you could wear it out to dinner.
You could wear it out to dinner. I have worn it walking the dog before, so you can definitely style it up. But that's how the idea came to be, and it was a really, really fun project.
Love that. No, thanks for sharing that. And now let's talk a little bit about, I know that you are, you guys started Entreprenista. And what advice would you give aspiring entrepreneurs, especially, obviously women, looking to make their mark in the digital space? Because I know it's really hard sometimes to figure out yes, I want to have a voice, but what do I talk about? How to do, what do I do? Where do I get started? What would be kind of the top 3 things that somebody could do?
Yeah, if you're looking to build your personal brand or even your brand through digital marketing, the beauty, especially right now, is that you can leverage AI tools to kind of help you build what that brand stands for. So the first step would be defining who is your target market, who are you ultimately looking to reach, and then also establishing what are your brand values, or what are your personal values, what are the things that matter most to you. And then from those 2 things, you can develop which channels, which platforms should I spend my time on. Your ideal customer might only be on LinkedIn, or might spend most of their time on LinkedIn versus Instagram. So once you establish the values, the customer, the channel, then you can develop your communication strategy, your content strategy. What are you going to say? What's the cadence of how you're going to post? And are you going to do it on video, a podcast, short video clips, graphics, long text? You can really play around with all of that, and you can really go in and ask ChatGPT, say, who you are, describe yourself, describe your business, and then work with ChatGPT to help you craft that strategy. You can do it in a day. And then I think the hard part for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially women, is being scared to post, being scared to be judged, being scared of what people are going to say, wanting it to be perfect. And I would say you have to throw that mindset out the window.
That's right. You just have to do
it. Exactly.
Because it's not, nothing is ever going to be perfect. It could always be better.
Exactly.
Anything out there, right? So I feel like you should just get it done and get it out there, and then you can iterate, right?
Done is better than perfect, is what they say.
Yes. And I agree 1000%. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
So let's talk a little bit about how has your fashion evolved as your career has evolved? Because I know you started at NYU, and you've always grew up around fashion in New York, and then you went kind of outside of New York City, and then you came back, and then you moved down here. So can you talk a little bit how your fashion sense has changed? I know you have obviously dark pieces for New York, but just in general, maybe do you go for classic pieces, or are you more trendy with your style?
I would say that's such a good question for me right now, because I don't want to say rebranding, but yeah, I think in a lot of ways I'm 5 years into being Miami. I'm back and forth between New York and Miami. I think I am trying to actually figure out what my fashion sense is and be more public on social. So I think I want
look very
thank
polished,
you.
So.
I think my fashion sense is classy, but fun is what I want it to be. And I
love
think
that. Yeah.
And then now I have to figure out, okay, how do I buy more stuff like that? Because when I look in my closet, I think I have the problem that most women have is I always feel like I have nothing to wear. Even here, I'm I've worn this dress 3 years ago. I posted on Instagram. No one's gonna notice, but now they will, because I just called myself out. But yeah, I think as women, I'm actually kind of looking to change up my fashion. So ask me in a year from now. But I want it to be more colorful.
Yeah, no, I think you every time I see you in color, it looks great on you. So you should definitely do more of that. And I know that you're really busy with all the things that you do. So how do you really balance all of that with your, like your work and your personal commitments, and also like thinking about fashion, like staying trendy and fashionable and all of that stuff? How do you do all of that and do it well?
Yeah, so for me, I'm always like, okay, so I don't have any kids, so that helps. I really just have an amazing team that can help me manage the businesses, and I just carve out time and I put it in my calendar to make things happen. So like right now I'm on a workout kick. Like, so for me, it's really important that I like exercise or get movement every single day. So that's really important to me. And then with the fashion, I'm always on, browsing online, following like my favorite influencers and like buying things here and there. But yeah, I don't know. I always feel like I could be doing all of it better, but I'm just kind of doing what I can, doing the best I can every day.
Yeah, well, you make it look really fabulous.
Oh, well, thank you. And so do you. I always love your style.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely have been like a closeted fashionista finally coming out. Yeah. And I think let's talk a little bit about just like, what do you see as some of the trends like for fashion brands and digital marketing? Because I feel like with AI and everything, how do you see, like, what do you think is going to work for like fashion brands and digital marketing? Like, do you think it's going to be more personalization, or do you think it's more going to be like actual activations in store? Do you think it's going more like that way, or do you think it's going more like really digitally trying to figure out how to sell something better to you as a brand?
It's a little bit of both. So the human in us, we love those in-person experiences, and I think post COVID there's a strong demand for that. So definitely seeing a lot of brands really lean into sponsoring conferences, doing their own events, leaning into, curating their own special like experiential events, partnering with communities. Mm-hmm. But then on the digital side, definitely seeing brands do a lot more UGC type of content. Yep. And now what's really interesting is you can leverage AI for UGC, and it'll be interesting to see if people can really tell the difference. Like, it's getting better and better.
I mean, I feel like, it's very human-like.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's getting harder to tell what's human and what's not. Yeah. Well, which is interesting and scary at the same time.
Yeah. And do you think, I guess one thing very important to me is sustainability. Do you think that, like, there is a lot of kind of greenwashing going on as far as, like, and digital campaigns that are, like, about sustainability? Do you think there's actually, like, people that care about that as far as brands go, Because I feel like it could go both ways, and it depends on the brand.
Yeah, I think it's always something that I've had a lot of conversations about with people in fashion. It's when we could do our consumer insights studies and get the research on what each generation cares about, this is something that comes up. But then the question is, are people willing to pay a premium for it? And that's not always the case. And then on the brand side, it's like, okay, how can you make your brand more sustainable, more eco-friendly, and yeah, a lot of brands really will lean in, and hopefully they see an impact, on their revenue and bottom line. But yeah, I think a lot of people care about it, but then sometimes it's like once push comes to shove and you have to make the decision if you're going to pay more for it or how you're going to implement it. I think that's where people sometimes get stuck.
Yeah, because I think again sometimes it's like, it's such a small difference, right?
Yeah, but it all matters, but it kind of like takes everyone to like really lean into it.
No, I agree. Small steps.
Exactly.
Well, now tell me about the shoes that you brought. I'm so excited.
Okay, so I will be honest that it took me a while to figure out what I was going to bring, because I love all my shoes equally. So to ask them for my favorite pair was really hard. But then I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
This is a show, so I wanted color. So I was like, okay, let me narrow it down to color. And then it's about shoes. So then I thought of, Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City. So,
oh my God, the hangy-see ladies, but it's different. It's a baby blue.
And I've worn these twice. I got them like 3 years ago, and need an excuse to wear these, and I just don't even know.
Beautiful.
I've worn them with jeans to like play, but they're just so fun and so feminine, and I love the color, and I want more excuses to wear these. So
yeah, well, you have. I mean, we'll find places for you to wear them, Courtney. And the next cool little thing I want to do is I want to ask you about this or that.
Okay.
So Instagram stories or TikTok videos?
Instagram stories.
Ditto. I'm not even like. I post this on TikTok, but I'm not like, I'm
more of a like peruser on TikTok.
Yeah,
like
I feel like I just get sucked. Like you get sucked in.
Yeah.
TikTok. Professional studio or home office backdrop?
Professional studio, I think. Yeah.
I agree. Tailored blazers or casual sweaters?
Tailored blazers. Yeah, with a blazer.
Morning routine or coffee or tea?
I like coffee.
Me too. Digital meeting, video on or off? I mean, I feel like
it depends on my mood, but if I'm meeting someone new, always video on.
Yeah.
And
cheers to that. I agree.
If I know like you already, I'm like, you already know what I look like.
We're not gonna turn it on. Yeah, unless
I love you, but you don't need to see this mess right now.
Branding, bold colors or neutral tones? Well, I already know.
Bold colors.
Yes. Work communication, email or instant messaging?
Email.
Yep. I think I like having a record of that at least.
My email is my to-do list, basically.
Yeah.
So if you want me to do something, send me an email. If you need me to answer something right now, send me a text.
That's I like the way you fashion for video call, styled up or full outfit? Well, it sounds like you had the little, so kind of in the middle.
Fancy-ish on top, and then pajamas on the bottom.
Yeah, I love that. Innovation and marketing, AI-driven tools or human creativity?
Both.
Agreed. Networking, LinkedIn connections or Instagram followers?
I like LinkedIn for networking.
Yeah, I agree. I think Instagram is more fun and it's more kind of mass thing to put out there, and like LinkedIn is really to close deals. Yeah. Make those lasting connections. Well, Courtney, it's been fantastic exploring the innovative frontiers of digital marketing and female entrepreneurship with you. Thank you so much for sharing how style and some substance coalesce in the fast-paced worlds of social media and entrepreneurship. And also, another thing I wanted to ask you is I wanted you to pick a shoe from here that would be like something that would represent you in the best way.
Ooh. Well, definitely, I think probably something pink.
Well, there's definitely a lot of different choices.
I'm leaning towards these Jimmy Choos. One, because Jimmy Choos are very comfortable.
They are very comfortable. Next to Manolo Blahniks, I feel like Jimmy Choo would be the next one.
Fashion and function.
So do you think these ones?
Those, yeah.
Okay, so Courtney, for those of you guys that are not watching on YouTube, Courtney picked these, what would you call, just like very classic.
Yeah, classic. Power
pump that's satin pink. Yeah. Like hot pink Jimmy Choo. So yeah, no, those look, you could try them on after. They look fabulous on you. And to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And remember that style isn't just about the clothes that we wear. It's also about the impressions we create and the connections that we foster. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform to stay informed and updated for more amazing stories and discussions here at I Want Her Shoes podcast.
Thanks for having me. I actually have a surprise for you. You have been chosen to be on the Entreprenista 100 list, so congratulations.
Oh
Congratulations!
No, that's super amazing news. And can you tell me any more about what it is, or do I have to wait to see what?
You will find out all the details tomorrow, but essentially it's a list that we publish every year. We've been doing it for the last 3 years, and you'll be recognized amongst other women entrepreneurs who are really trailblazers in their industries. So,
well, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes.